Welcome to the Growth with AI podcast, hosted by Integrated AI Services. I'm Peter Martinson, and today's episode dives into how AI is reshaping digital marketing, performance optimization, and client acquisition. Our guest is Alex Lloro, founder of All Marketing Services, a data-driven agency known for blending analytics, automation, and AI to help businesses grow faster and smarter. Alex, it's great to have you here.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Absolutely. So tell me, how did you get started doing what you're doing now?
Well, it's been a long time. I started running Google Ads in 2005. So it's
Hmm.
been already 20 years since I started for my first campaign and 30 years since I designed my first web page. It was 1995. And I swear to you that in Spain, probably not many people knew what a web page was. I had no clue. I was
Hmm.
doing an internship in a university, and someone came to me and said, "Hey, I've been in a conference in the US, and some of my colleagues had a web page for their department. I want one." And it's like, "What? What is a web page?" So I had to learn how to code HTML because at that moment there was no editors. It was like,
Hmm.
just like a programming language. So well, I designed my first web page, and I've been doing that and doing marketing since then.
That's a great way to start. It is hard to believe that, yeah, 1995 was a long time ago in the very
Mhm.
beginning of the internet.
Yeah, that says something about my age as well, but
Yeah, well, we'll both be nice and not talk about that anymore. At least you don't have the silver hair that I've got. But so kind of just to start off, how did you first begin integrating AI into all marketing services? What made you start doing that?
well, I have a background in technology. I have a degree in computing. So I'm always trying to use technology to improve the performance of the campaigns that I run for my clients.
Mhm.
So I started testing different tools. Some of them were promising AI. Well, maybe it was some reasoning model more based on if else conditions. But even with that, some of those could be interesting to use. So I've been always very curious about tools, and I've been always trying to integrate things that other companies, because they don't have the technical knowledge that I have, weren't able to use at that moment. There is a lot of AI is standardized, so everyone has access to the tools. Tools are much cheaper. But well, I've been trying to use that for a while.
Okay. Where in your agency have you been adding those? Is it directly for the client's products, or has it been like for administrative stuff?
Well, it's to accelerate our processes.
Hmm.
In the end, AI is not in the point where you can automate everything. So I don't trust those softwares that says, okay, the promise you will get a 3x return of your ad spend if you use our platform. And no, I don't trust that. It's not true. Those tools that promise that they will create landing pages that will convert. AI is very rigid right now, and they have some patterns that they follow. So those
Hmm.
tools will design the same pattern for each and every page that they create. And patterns are okay. It's a good way to start, but optimization goes a long way beyond that point, where you start with a pattern or with a template that, well, is a good template, it converts, but there is a lot of things that you can improve, and there is a lot of psychology on marketing. So the use of words, the use of colors, images, and you have to test that, and AI can do that yet. So
Hmm.
we use AI more to help us reduce our workload, so things that maybe before took us 10 hours now may take us two. Analyzing data, again, we use AI. So we extract some patterns, but then a human must interpret those patterns and see why those things happen. So you can send a bunch of data to the AI, but in the end, you have to interpret what happened, why those data are showing that trend. So, but yes, it's simplifying our processes. So managing a client, if before was maybe, I don't know, 50 hours a week, now is 35, 30. So yeah, it's helping us.
Okay. So I'm curious, in your data analysis, do you go back and check the results to see if the LLM has hallucinated the results? Do you manually check it, or do you just have a feel after been doing it for so long that the results are correct?
Well, I do some checking to well, just verify that the
Mhm.
data is correct. Uh, Processing data is, I don't think that they make mistakes. It's more on the interpretation and on the
Mhm.
insights where they can, because they don't know what is behind that business. There is a lot of implications. Even the same business in the same industry in a different area, there are some things that are completely different, some external factors, weather can be impacting a business. So there are things that probably an AI model can find, but a human, because you know what happened, or it's better to, you can interpret the data in a different way that the AI can.
Sure,
But
sure.
managing a huge amount of data before was doing a lot of manual check-ins with Excels, although you can have some automations, and but in the end, AI is helping us with that. What is one of the uses that we use a lot on our agency?
Okay. So I have talked to other guests about SEO and the like, but I haven't really talked to anyone about pay per click, which is something that you offer. I'm curious how you use AI as part of your pay per click service offering. Do you do anything directly with AI there, or
Again, not directly, but
okay?
we use it to create some things to accelerate our process.
Hmm.
But again, a lot of people on LinkedIn nowadays is saying, "Hey, steal my model. I have created a model that creates ads that convert." If everyone is using that model, their ads are going to sound the same. And
Yes.
an ad is a really small piece that you have to touch the pain point of the person that is having a problem, is looking for a solution. So you
Hmm.
have to be touching that pain point and have a landing page that is covering the solution for that pain point. And AI sounds the same. So, for example, we work with a lot of personal injury attorneys. All the ads generated by models, you take a look, you look for car accident attorney in X city, and you look for the results, and all the ads look the same. You don't pay, we don't win, no fees. They are always the same.
Yeah.
So you have to use some different things to make a difference and position your client in a different way that most people are doing. That
Yep.
AI models can understand. They can create the base of the campaign, the skeleton of the campaign, but a person must use psychological principles to create a more friendly and problem solving solution for that.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And I, like you, and probably like most of our listeners, see a lot of those ads and DMs on LinkedIn.
Yeah, exactly.
So how do you balance the like the speed that and the efficiency gains that you're getting with the need to be creative and personalized for each client? How does can you talk a little bit about how you're able to keep the creativity and personalization even while you're using some of these tools?
Sure. We use personalization, we use AI tools, and we detect, for example, the city where a person is located. So we will make look like the law firm that covers the whole state is
Mhm.
working in their city. So it creates a connection. Say, okay, So they are attorneys in Washington, D.C., in Bethesda, in Maryland, in Annapolis, in Maryland. So if they see the name of their city, it's easier for them saying, okay, this helps. They are local, they are here, they are going to help me. Although they are not going to put a feet or foot on the office, but they feel more comfortable if they see the name of their city there. So it's just a way
Hmm.
also to engage.
Okay.
But in the end, you have to focus always on solving the problem that person has. And
Yeah.
for that, you need to apply psychology. What is the pain point? How that person is feeling about that problem that they have and that they need a solution. So there is always ways to review and different things to test, different angles to test and see which one is working better.
Okay.
What is working maybe in the East Coast, maybe in the West Coast, is not working
Mhm.
because there are some differences on how people behave socially or so you can repeat each and everything, copy what is working on one client to another because each area is different, every business is different. So what is working for client A is not working for client B.
Okay.
So
So
it's a
you've
lot of
men-
testing and applying by psychological principles and trying to overcome different biases that people may have.
okay. So you've mentioned psychology a number of times now. Do
Mhm.
you have a degree in psychology,
No,
or
I
are
don't
you?
have it, but I love it. I love
Yeah.
neuromarketing, and I try always to apply it to the online marketing. That is what we do. But yeah,
Mhm.
it's a very interesting field that I love. But no,
Okay.
I don't have a degree in psychology. I have a degree in computing.
Okay. Nice. So I've asked other guests this too. You talk about saving time. That something that used to take 10 hours now you can maybe do in 2 or 3. So what do you do with the extra time? Do you bring on more clients, or are you able to? So, like, what do you do? Because that's a lot of extra time in a day. What do you do with that time?
Well, 10 to 3 hours is probably the most extraordinary example. Probably is not in that percentage that reduces our time. But yes, we
Mhm.
can now manage more clients with the same number of employees. So yes, it's helping us
Okay.
to get more business and always you can have some more balanced life. I have two little kids, so I have to spend a lot of time with them. So that helps a lot of as well.
Nice. Well, that is a good way to use the extra time.
It is.
But yeah. So speaking of employees, when you're looking to hire new employees these days, do you look for a different skill set than you did 5 years ago?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, advertising is changing in a very fast way and is going to be disruptive in the next couple of years probably. Although OpenAI announces last week that they are stop the process of adding ads on ChatGPT, but there will be a moment that our what we do currently is not going to be there anymore because
Mm.
people will stop using search engines like Google and will use AI, LLMs to ask questions.
Yep.
So ads will be in a different way integrated in the LLMs. So yes, we need to adapt to those times. So yes, the questions that you do when you interview someone are completely different than the ones that you were making maybe 5 years ago, for sure.
So I wonder, do you look for people who are more creative because the tools to be technical are better and easier? Or do you think that you look for people who are just really good with the tools, or
Well,
both?
it's a balance of both, really.
Mhm.
But for me, it's more interesting the way they see the tools and how our industry, the online advertising industry, is going to
Mhm.
evolve. Maybe they are wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. We don't know exactly how Google or OpenAI are going to integrate ads yet because they are not running ads at the moment.
Mhm.
So it's just guessing what is going to happen. But having that open mind, saying, okay, what we are doing right now It's not going to last forever, and we need to adapt to
Right.
the new things that are coming. So that mentality is what we look when we interview someone.
Yeah. Okay. So it's talking about, the changes that are coming. How do you measure the work that you're doing now with the changes in people asking LLMs questions instead of just, the traditional Google? Are you finding that that's interfering with the metrics that you used to have for campaign performance?
Of course. And we are seeing a decline in Google searches.
Hmm.
Google used to have 90% of the market share. Right now, probably they are under 80 already. So we are seeing less searches. That means less clicks for our clients. And Google, this is a business. Google doesn't make any money with the search engine. They make money with the ads. And the ads are 82% of Google's revenue last year. And for the last years, it's been over 80%.
Hmm.
And they need to keep it in that way. So what we are seeing is that Google Ads is acquiring clients using Google Ads is getting more and more expensive. Not only on Google, we see that on other platforms as well, because less people is using those platforms and they are using ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude or any other system to do those searches, that the research that they were doing before on Google or Bing or different search engines, and now it's changing. So yes, we are seeing a decline as well as we are seeing a decline on organic traffic.
Interesting. And is that because the AI previews are reducing the number of times people actually click into a website to read the information
Yes, and
themselves?
because many people right now are going directly to ChatGPT or Copilot to ask
Mhm.
questions instead of the search engine. My
Yeah,
kids doesn't use Google anymore. They are using ChatGPT when they need to do some research.
yeah. Do you tell them to ask for sources and then check the sources?
I try. Yeah, I always try to say, hey, don't trust. You have to verify everything because sometimes the AI is not perfect and can make some mistakes. So you need to verify what you are checking. Look on Google and see if you get the same results, but don't trust the AI yet.
Yeah. I do use ChatGPT to help research my guests, but I ask for the references, and for this one guest, the title for the guest, the job title, didn't look quite right. So I clicked on the reference, and I couldn't find any reference to the job title in its reference. So I asked it. I said, "How did you find this title?" And it admitted that it had made it up, and that the reference didn't actually show that job title. I thought, like, that's a really silly thing to make up. I don't understand. So yeah,
Yeah,
you just don't
sometimes
have to.
I had the same experience several times where you get something that calls your attention. So you ask, hey, how did you get this? What is the
Mhm.
source? And the AI model tells you, no, well, I make it up. It's like, okay. The creative has to be the person, not you.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So in the next 6 to 12 months, how do you think that the AI is going to continue to change the way you work at all marketing services?
Well, because right now Google Ads is probably Google and Microsoft Ads are 80% of what we do,
Mm.
give or take. In 2, 3 years, probably will be 30, 40%. And we will be integrating new platforms, OpenAI, Cloud, different models that will be offering ads. So we will need to transition to those platforms.
Yeah.
At the moment, I guess that all of those LLMs, because they are well funded and they
Hmm.
don't need revenue yet, or the investors are not asking for immediate revenue, they are waiting for Google to see how, because Google has the expertise on ads. So they are waiting for Google to move the needle and see how they implement the ads and see how it works. Because if you introduce ads that are interfering with the use of the tool, people will stop using that tool. So I
Right.
guess that one of the reasons why OpenAI is taking always delaying the use of ads inside the AI, the ChatGPT, is because of that. Because they are afraid that it can interfere with the use of the tool, and people will look for a different tool. So they are waiting for Google to start doing that, and if they see that the Google implementation is right, they will copy that. Google has the need to do it because the revenue comes from there.
Mhm.
The company behind Cloud or OpenAI, they are well funded. They don't need to present a report of revenue at the end of the year to the investors. It's a long race for them. But for Google, they need the revenue today. So they are waiting, in my opinion, that Google moves the needle first. And if what they do works, they will copy that.
That's a really good insight. I like that. Yeah, and you're right. Claude and OpenAI and ChatGPT, they don't have to make revenue yet, but holy smokes, they are burning through a lot of cash every year.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So at some point, those investors are going to want to see some money coming back in. But well, as we start to wrap up, what do you want someone who might hire you to know about you and your agency?
Well, that our take is a little bit different of other agencies. We try to cover the full funnel, not only the advertising part. For us, because we are experts on conversion rate optimization, we include the landing pages, the design, and the A/B test as part of our services. And we
Hmm.
focus on one only metric. We don't care about irrelevant metrics like cost per click, cost per lead, because I can send you hundreds of leads every day, but if they don't convert, you're wasting money. So we
Yeah.
just focus on revenue and profits for our clients. Those are the only two metrics that are relevant for us.
Okay. Sounds good. Because you're right. It's not too hard to get leads, but to convert them that's where the money is.
Exactly.
So fantastic. Well, Alex, this has been a great discussion. I've appreciated having you on, and maybe we'll get you back on in a year or so and see how things have changed.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. Take care.
Okay, take care. Bye.